Picture this. Payday hits, your phone buzzes with that sweet direct deposit notification, and you immediately feel like a financial genius. You sit down, log into your banking app, pay all your bills on time, and leave whatever is left over sitting in your checking account, telling yourself you will just save whatever is left at the end of the month. But 3 weeks later, you check your balance again, and somehow, almost all of it is gone. You didn't buy anything crazy. You didn't go on a wild shopping spree, yet the money just evaporated. You sit there staring at your screen, wondering, wait, am I doing this wrong? If you have ever felt like you are earning decent money but still constantly living paycheck to paycheck, I want you to know that you are not broken. You are just using an outdated financial playbook that was practically designed to keep you broke. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how to restructure your payday routine so you can build real wealth and get ahead of 98% of people without sacrificing your entire lifestyle. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about how every day earners can reclaim control of their money. If you're someone who works hard every single month but still feels like you're falling behind financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Here's the thing. Most people handle their paycheck in reverse order. They earn money. They pay everyone else first. The landlord, the utility company, the grocery store, the subscription services, and then they try to build their financial future on whatever tiny crumbs happen to fall off the table at the end of the month. When you save last, you are relying entirely on daily willpower in a world specifically engineered by modern marketing to drain your wallet. Willpower always loses to temptation eventually. This is where it gets really interesting when you look at how small adjustments to your payday sequence completely rewrite your financial trajectory over time. Let's compare two people earning the exact same $5,000 a month after taxes. Person A uses the standard method. They pay their $600 in monthly bills, cover their living expenses, spend casually throughout the month, and try to save whatever remains. On average, they manage to scrape together $200 a month, which they toss into a regular bank account. After 20 years, Person A has saved roughly $48,000, but inflation has eaten away a massive chunk of its purchasing power. Now look at Person B. Person B uses a system where they automatically route 15% of their income, that is $750 a month, into a diversified investment engine the exact hour their paycheck hits. Over that same 20-year stretch, assuming a standard average market return of 8%, Person B doesn't just have $48,000. Person B accumulates over $430,000. Same income, same life, but a difference of nearly $400,000 simply because of the order in which they allocated their paycheck on day one. Here's what most people don't realize about human psychology when it comes to money. We operate on a mental instinct known as Parkinson's law, which states that our demand for a resource will naturally expand to match the supply available to us. When you leave your entire paycheck sitting inside your primary checking account, your brain subconsciously views that full balance as available spending power. Every time you open your banking app, your mind registers a false sense of safety, telling you that buying a $50 dinner or an extra pair of shoes is totally fine because the money is right there. By failing to separate your wealth-building money from your lifestyle money immediately on payday, you force yourself to make dozens of exhausting micro-decisions every single week, creating decision fatigue that almost always leads to impulse buying. To break out of this cycle for good, you need to implement a simple, foolproof framework I call the Paycheck Priority Matrix. It completely automates your financial growth so you never have to guess where your money is going again. Step 1 is executing the first cut rule. The very day your salary drops into your primary account, a fixed percentage, ideally 15 to 20%, must be automatically transferred out before you pay a single bill or buy a single cup of coffee. This is not leftover money. This is your future self's foundation, moving straight into your long-term wealth vehicles before your eyes even have a chance to adjust to your new balance. Step 2 is establishing the fixed expense isolation hub. You set up a completely separate checking account specifically dedicated to your non-negotiable, fixed survival costs like rent, utilities, insurance, and minimum debt payments. You calculate your exact monthly total for these bills. Set up an automatic transfer from your main account to this hub on payday, and configure all recurring bill payments to draw strictly from this secondary account, so your core living obligations are guaranteed to be covered. Step 3 is defining the guilt-free spending envelope. Whatever cash remains in your primary account after the first cut and the isolation hub transfers is your actual spending allowance for the month. Because your long-term investing and your essential bills are already 100% taken care of, you can spend every single dime of this remaining balance on dining out, hobbies, weekend trips, or entertainment with absolute zero guilt, knowing that your financial future is completely secure. Think of your monthly income like a high-end luxury restaurant that you own and operate. Right now, by saving whatever is left over at the end of the month, you are letting every vendor, customer, and supplier walk into your kitchen. Grab whatever food they want from your pantry, and then you quietly eat whatever cold leftovers are left on the counter after everyone leaves. Implementing the Paycheck Priority Matrix is simply locking the pantry door, setting aside the finest meal for yourself first, and then happily serving everyone else from the remaining inventory. Now you might be thinking, but Jack, my current income is already so tight that I genuinely do not have an extra 15% to pull out on payday without missing rent or going into credit card debt. That is an extremely common concern, and it is the exact reason why so many working adults feel trapped in an endless cycle. But here's what most people don't realize about starting this system. You do not need to start at 15% to make this work. If 15% feels impossible right now, start with just 2% or even $20 per paycheck. The primary goal in the beginning is not the dollar amount. It is establishing the psychological wireframe and building the automatic muscle memory. Once your brain gets comfortable living on 98% of your income, you will barely notice when you bump it up to 3% next month, then 5% a few months later, steadily scaling up your savings rate without ever feeling a dramatic lifestyle squeeze. To pull all of this together into a clear blueprint you can put into action this coming Friday. Let's recap the 3 core steps of the system. First, execute the first cut rule by automatically directing a percentage of your pay directly into your wealth accounts the second you get paid. Second, build your fixed expense isolation hub to guarantee your rent, utilities, and essential bills are paid on total autopilot. Third, enjoy your guilt-free spending envelope with total peace of mind, knowing that your life is funded and your future is protected. Building real wealth and getting ahead of 98% of everyday earners has almost nothing to do with hitting the lottery or landing a massive 6-figure raise overnight. It comes down to designing a system that respects your hard work and removes human error from the equation entirely. You don't need to completely revolutionize your life today, but making that simple shift in how you handle your very next paycheck is how you stop spinning your wheels and finally start building momentum toward true financial freedom. And I'm curious about something. What is the single biggest expense that makes it hardest for you to save money on payday right now? Let me know in the comments below.